Good morning and welcome back to PSA TV, the Wake Up Call segment. I'm Avalon Williams, and today here with us this morning is the principal and also the director and marketing manager from the Total Early Childhood Institute, Mrs. Esther Richards, and also Mr. Curtis Toussaint. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I just probably will start with
Sure.
Curtis, if you could tell us a little bit more about the Total Early Childhood Institute.
Sure. Total Early Childhood Institute, or TECI for short, is a early childhood center, early childhood education, care and education center. We ideally care for the needs of families, because one of the things, I mean, as a parent myself and being familiar with having kids who've gone through that ECCE level, and with education in general, if you think even about SEA, CXC results, which would have just come out last night, the education and care of children is really a family and a community matter. And so for us, we wanted to create, and we have done that. We have created an environment that caters not only to the needs of children, but of families, so that along with the preschool, which runs throughout the day, there is a homework or afternoon center where children of people who work in the Woodbrook Sinclair area, their kids come and we assist with homework on afternoons, revision plans, so that they're prepped for the various tests that they have throughout the school term. One of the things that we do for parents is, of course, having parent workshops, which happens not only for parents of the children at the center, but is often open to the public. So that we could really because preparing children is one thing, but you also have to help prepare and equip parents and guardians. So that in a nutshell is what we do at Total Early Childhood Institute.
How long have the institution been open and going?
So we celebrated our first year in existence on July the 18th.
Okay.
So we have been operating in Sinclair, 16C, Gray Street, Sinclair, for just about a year. But Mrs. Richards, our principal and director, her experience and involvement in early childhood education spans way beyond that. And you know, we have definitely been enjoying. I have been enjoying working with her because where she was previously as an educator and administrator, my children would have attended there at preschool, and so, you know, it was for me a natural move to partner with her to establish a school where, you know, we could continue with that level of care and definitely improve on what we thought, you know, just add what we thought was missing to the early childhood space.
Mrs. Richards, how long you've been in the education system?
About 20 years.
20.
And yes, and enjoying it. I retired recently, but I just couldn't sit and put up my feet. I had to continue.
Right.
What Mr. Toussaint failed to say also is that his last daughter is with us also. He just couldn't leave.
Yes, she is a student. She is a student at the school. Yes.
Okay.
All his boys have gone through, so now the girl is with us, and she's.
So she stays until she's ready for primary school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does she call you daddy? Oh.
So it depends. It depends on who's around. So because most of the kids will call me Uncle Curtis.
Right.
And so sometimes she would come and she'd be like, Uncle Curtis, I need to get this, that, or the other. I'm like, okay, sure.
That's so nice.
But it depends on what it is. So when she feels that she needs to add a little incentive, she comes, Daddy, can I have?
That's nice.
And then let me just add, she doesn't only call them daddies, she would say, Papa, in this tone, you know.
Right.
To meld the heart, if she really wants something, she'd add that to it also.
In terms go ahead, sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
In terms of like extracurriculum activities and stuff like that, do you all do any stuff like that for students, and also like lessons and stuff? What is the results you got from children?
So we have a co-curricular program because the extra activities, we have facilitators and tutors who come throughout the day. What is part of our main curriculum is music and Spanish.
Okay.
So those happen as part of our program. So parents don't pay an additional fee for that. The co-curricular, because we have facilitators facilitators who are coming in to do it, which include dance and gymnastics. Pretty soon we are going to have swimming and football.
Nice.
But again, because when we say total early childhood, we believe that there must be a holistic approach to the development of the child. So of course, including stuff like dance and gymnastics, which deals with balance, gross motor skills development. And listen, I'm a learner. I'm learning from Mrs. Richards. But those things are definitely a part of our program, and we're constantly looking at what can be added to help make these children future ready. Not just ready for primary school, but again, and I should have mentioned earlier, two of our watchwords would be, in terms of a byline, it is joyful learning, and the focus is on creating a lifelong learner. Not just preparing a child for primary school, but definitely preparing a child for a life of learning. And in doing that, we also focus on education through experiences. So having them experience different ways of learning is something that's very important to us
And
as
what
well.
age group do you accept children?
From 3 years old.
3. And
Turning 3 and 3 to 5.
Okay.
Now some may go up to 6 depending on how they are ready. If at 5 a parent, or even me would say to a parent, I'm not really satisfied to send this child to primary school. Parents would say, okay, your judgment call. So they would agree, and they may go up to 6.
And then for the homework center, we have had a scenario where there was a child who was attending another preschool, but because of the hours of that preschool, the parent needed an afternoon care environment. So that child would also come for our afternoon program, which runs from 2 to about 5:30. But at that level, our focus is really from early childhood to primary school. So the homework center, the afternoon program, goes up until standard 5.
Okay. In terms of children having difficulties to pick up, by listening, do you interact with them, showing them certain things? You go out on field trips as well?
Yes, we do.
Because some of them sort of battle with that challenge as well.
Yes, we do. As Mr. Toussaint said, it's a total package.
Yeah.
So it's not basically academic. The joyful learning, for me, I did a course, my ECC course in teaching some years ago, and I was introduced to the joyful learning. Miss Judy Willis was the person who, when we did the course, we saw all the effects and what can happen to a child that is having that joyful learning. And I always said to myself, the day I open my own school, that has to be a part of my name, joyful learning. And Mr. Toussaint also added the creating
Lifelong learners.
Lifelong learners. And what I found is that the both of them go together, they correlate. So everything that we do, we make sure that a child can enjoy whatever they're doing.
Right.
And concepts that might be very hard to get, if we sit and do chalk and talk, which we don't do, would be difficult for a child to do. But when that child is interactive with materials, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Manipulative, we allow a lot of manipulatives that children could use. I have found that children grasp concepts faster with these things. So even if they're having a problem trying to understand something, okay, for instance, and giving an example, while at UE Open Campus, which was I was the principal at that school for 10 years, my teacher said to me, our students are having problems understanding the concept of 0. They could have understood 1, 2, 3, everything else, but not 0. And they said, Auntie, can you help me? That's what they call me, Auntie. Can you help me? I said, no problem. I went into the classroom. And I made that a very playful, enjoying lesson. When I was finished, did a little review with them. Yes, they understood. So I said, okay, my test for me to understand if they really understood what I said would be at the end of the day, we do a review. And when I did the review, my teacher said to me, Auntie, we have to hand it to you. You're good. Because they immediately grasped that concept. 0 means nothing. So I also use practical situations. Go into your lunch kit. take out everything.
Right.
Right? Is there anything in your lunch kit? No, auntie. So that's zero. There's nothing there. So at the end of the day, they understood what zero meant. So this is what the practical aspect of teaching is all about. Right? I'm very innovative. I wouldn't teach the conventional way. I do things, it may sound crazy, but at the end of the day, my children enjoy it.
Right.
Right? I can testify to you that when we first started in September, at the end of the term in December, when I asked my students, I said, so okay, tell me, let's talk. Did you enjoy yourself? One child, and she has been consistent from then till now, till July. She said, Auntie, I had fun. I learned with my friends. And for me, that was the achievement. Right? Her friends came along eventually, but she was that child who was saying to me, I had fun learning. And that made me realize, all right, I'm on the right track.
And where is that today?
Yes. Pardon?
Where is that
She's
today?
now going off the Sacred Heart, St. Teresa's. St. Teresa's.
Yeah.
She's going off to St. Teresa's.
Okay.
I mean, and another very practical example, we have a pet turtle at school.
Oh, Lord, yes.
And so we were gifted the turtle, and we also got food for the turtle.
right.
Eventually that ran out, and that became an exercise in
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
Because we organized a field trip where we took the entire class. Everybody would have contributed maybe $2 or $3 to buying a new bottle of food for the turtle. And we took them to a pet shop, Pantins. Mr.
Right.
Pantin, he
Yeah.
accommodated the
Yeah.
class, we made the arrangements, and they went and they had their own learning journal.
Yes.
With their crayons, so that they were drawing the fishes that they saw, the birds, the different things in the shop, so that learning experience, they were a part of it. And we felt that was way more rewarding than me simply going off to buy pet food and bringing it back. So they understood, because part of the lesson at the time was dealing with living things. So understanding, okay, living things need to eat.
Yeah,
We have a turtle that we need to take care of. So, those education through experiences works.
Yes.
It works. It really leaves an impression on the child, and so that they understand with a little bit more depth and reality what the lesson is actually trying to convey.
Mrs. Richards, after a full day with these children, and you leave your school, how do you feel?
Sometimes I am tired, very, very tired. More so now because I'm getting a little older.
Right.
But it's rewarding. But at the end of the day, I can hear, especially Mr. Toussaint's daughter, Hannah, I'll have to call her name. Once you say or I teach a concept to her, right, however I teach it, the next, a simple concept like holding a scissors down when you're walking.
Right.
The next day, Hannah is going to go for her scissors. She takes it up. She said, Auntie, hold it down. I said, yes, Hannah.
Hold it down.
And whatever you teach, they come back to me and they say, Auntie, so this is what you do. I say, yes. So this is rewarding for me. Right? And there is also the hidden curriculum where empathy, where I get them to understand you don't treat other people in a way that's mean. Well, I use the word mean and unkind. So they also use it back to me. Auntie, that was being unkind. Yes, it was being unkind. And they would hug each other. So that's the hidden curriculum. So at the end of the day, yes, I go home tired, but fulfilled. Because I am seeing that learning is taking place. If I'm not seeing that, that would be a problem for me.
Because this is working a double shift.
Yeah. So, no, but I think, and it was something that during the vacation program, because we also have some campers now at the primary school level who are there, and it's something that I shared in a post on our Facebook page that, as Auntie Esther calls it, the hidden curriculum. I think that there's not a takeaway from STEM and the other technological aspects of learning, but we have been focusing a lot and hearing a lot that those skills are the 21st century skills.
Yes.
And I think that, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, I think those things for me rank even higher in terms of 21st century skills.
Yes.
Because if you have somebody who is equipped with all these STEM capabilities, but no social or emotional intelligence, and they're not able to function in a team, it kind of nullifies all their knowledge. And so for us, that hidden curriculum is also important. Which is why I know part of our process in terms of onboarding students and families, Mrs. Richards does an interview with the parents, because you kind of want to manage the expectations. This is what our program is about. This is what we believe is important in terms of the skills and tools that your child need to move on. And quite frankly, if as a parent you don't agree and you think, okay, no, I want to focus very heavily on the academic side, then our space may not be the space for you.
Ideal for you. Yes, that's true.
Mrs. Richards, in terms of children, you see a lot of children on iPads. They spend most of their time on iPad.
Yes.
Do you, endorse children being with these digital?
Let me say this. Now, we've got a Digital Citizen Day that we have implemented in the school.
Right.
We can't get away from that.
Okay.
Yes. We need to have them do the same thing. I will not endorse it in the classroom every day.
Right.
We've got a period of time where I would teach off my computer also. All right. We would allow them, which is something that we would be implementing pretty soon. They will bring in their iPads and whatever one day, and the technical person, not me, the technical person, he'll do a lesson and show them the dangers and all of that. But for me, what I have seen, this has taken away from our children being able to think critically. Picture a marble, all these different skills. Because of the use of the technology now, which is not bad, it's taking away some of their skills that they should be working with right now. So yes, I'll encourage it, but it's not on a daily basis. I take the children go outside every day. They play cricket, football, all those long time games also that they don't know anything about.
Take the turtle for a walk.
Take the turtle for a walk.
Christy. Christy's the turtle?
Christy, yes. Christy is the turtle. And that is something that they look forward to every day. So every other 2 days, we give the turtle a bath. They also are encouraged to help bathe the turtle.
I wish you all had brought probably your daughter.
She's not up yet.
Okay. I would have loved to have them meet my next guest who's going to come in studio. He has
that would have been nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I can always, introduce you back to PSA as well. In terms of getting information where persons can reach you to register and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you can call, and our number is 231-6845. You can email at teci.school@gmail.com. If you wanted to speak to Mrs. Richards directly, maybe as a parent you have some concerns in terms of where your child is at and their own development and readiness for primary school, she can be reached at teci.principal@gmail.com. And one of the things, and even for me, one of the things that we felt was missing is that we don't have a lot of innovation in the early childhood education space. And so from September, we're actually going to be introducing e-learning to the early childhood space. So based on the economy and based on the fact that a lot of people now work from home, and homeschooling is an option, but you're homeschooling a toddler and someone who should be at an ECCE, and you wanted some additional support. We also have a service whereby you can be incorporated through webcam to our classroom. So your child could be at home.
That's nice.
Mrs. Richards, she will be instructing her class, and you could be there kind of guiding your child through the same things that we are doing in our classroom. And of course, those lessons are also going to be recorded so that you do have access to the recording via the cloud. So you could go over it with your child, because we felt that, but we know that early childhood education is too important for a child not to have access. And in this day of modern technology, access does not always mean physical presence. We do hope, though, that parents will make the transition from the virtual classroom space to the physical space, because the hidden curriculum requires that interaction with students. Because some kids are great academically, but they need help with regards to social interaction, team play, and so that is something that could be best done in the actual physical space.
Yes.
So those are some of our innovations that we're working on, and
very
we're ready to
interesting.
roll out in September. And of course, we have a few spaces available.
I'm definitely going to have my sister speak with you.
No problem.
Yeah.
We have a few spaces available, so again, they can reach us at 231-6845 or teci.school or teci.principal@gmail.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
Mrs.
me.
Richards, I want you to leave your closing comments.
I want to say to parents that early childhood is more than just ABC.
Yeah, that's
It is more than just
ECCE is more
more
than
than just
ABC.
ABC. It's a total package. It's something that, there's something that I learned years gone by. Well, the name have changed so many times, but it's in the 5 domains of learning. And at the time, it was called SPICES, which is the social, physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual aspect of the child. Now, I found that the spiritual aspect has been left out. They're calling it wellness, but still spiritual. These are important aspects of a child's life that must be developed so we can give a citizen to Trinidad and Tobago that would make a good contribution. So we are here to make the difference in early childhood. So please call us, and we can assure you that when we are finished, your child would be a lifelong learner, because that child would now have the privilege of learning in a joyful environment.
That's very nice.
Correct.
Curtis, closing comment. Curtis, you have a fan here this morning, Matthew Alexander. He's a principal.
Yes, he is a principal.
He said to tell you good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Alexander. Nice of you to tune in.
Yeah.
But yes, at Total Early Childhood Institute, my focus is really on the family, because I believe that, and I think the Commissioner of Police, he would have made some statements to that effect recently. There's a lot of focus on young people and on children and on education. And for us, while that is our focus, you can't leave parents behind. If there's a disconnect between what you're trying to do as an educator with children, and parents are not being kept abreast of what is happening and why something is being done, it cannot be reinforced at home. My own experience was the tearing of paper, and Mrs. Richards will laugh at me. The tearing of paper, in terms of how that develops fine motor skills to make them more capable in terms of writing. But that would send me up a wall. Because the kids were coming home and they were just tearing paper all over, and for me it was just mess.
Right.
So it was something that I was trying to stop. I did not understand that this was an important activity. And now what we're seeing, what we're experiencing is that we have at the homework center, we have children who are maybe 7 or 8 years old who did not have that exposure to sensory play with plasticine, paper, clothespins, cutting paper, tearing paper, and it's impacting on how they write. So for me, I want to say to parents that we're not only going to be providing a space for your child, but we're also going to be helping you. We're going to take you along for the journey, because you too have a lot to learn in terms of how you can support your child, and we are an environment that will permit that learning.
Thank you so much. I want to thank you guys so much for coming here at PSA TV and giving us all this info. We're always welcome to have you back on set, and you can also bring your daughter Hannah. So
Thank you for having us.
thank you so much, Mrs. Richards, and also Mr. Toussaint. They are from the Total Early Childhood Institute. So if you would like to enroll your kids, you can also look back at the PSA page to get more info. So we're going to toss a short break and come right back to the program.